You're late. Though if I'm being completely honest, I actually didn't expect you to show up. Not that I didn't want you to show up. It's just, after everything at the gala, it was kind of messy, wasn't it? And I figured you were on campus, I was on campus, and, why not? We both have stuff to work on. You, obviously, more than me. You know me, always taking those silly joke classes. And for your information, I still haven't picked a major. At this point, I don't think I ever will. I'll be a super, super, super senior. But, at least it means I get to spend time with you. And make sure that no one else spends time with you too. I mean, you're allowed to have other friends, obviously, just as long as they don't hang out with me. And I feel quite protective over you. That wasn't obvious. So I, want to make sure that you're okay. That no one bothers you. Ever. At least not while I'm around. Anyway, as a sorry about the gala situation, I have a very, very, very special surprise for you. Well, let me just send this. Finalizing things. Stop. I'm not going to tell you right now. Gosh, let it be a surprise. I'll tell you at the end as, thanks for spending time with me. And send. But also, thanks for being my model again. Please, please say you'll be. Please, please, please say you'll be. I promise this time it's not painting. It's not painting. I'm done with that course, and I'm not sure if I'll ever take one again. But I thought, painting wasn't really my speed. But you know what might be my speed? Drawing. Stop. I know you're gonna laugh at me. I know. It's not the smartest idea, but I figured, the time kind of matched with your schedule. And so I thought, why not try? You never know. I might actually be good at this one thing. Instead of just being average at a lot of things. Yeah. Well, I mean, this entire week, we've been doing nothing but drawing these weird still lives. I know. Don't even get me started. It brings back memories of having to do paintings, still lives. But this time, this professor is a little bit cooler, I guess. And she sets up a still life, this really big one, reaches all the way to the ceiling in the room, and it's a pretty big room, which is weird because there's not a lot of kids in the class. Anyway, so she sets up this really large still life, and every 15 to 20 minutes she comes by and she moves an object from the still life, and then she makes you erase everything you've done and then continue to draw, which I know sounds kind of mean, you know what I'm saying? Just a tiny bit mean. But the end result ends up being kind of cool, almost like a weird time-lapse situation. And I know she's never gonna say it to my face. She's really nice about it, And, she didn't even ask me questions about my name, which is very, very, appreciated. But she just comes over and goes, "You're doing great. Just try to draw what you see." Which I know is probably professor code for like, "You're not drawing well." But she means well, I think. So far it's been okay, you know. I get to see you more often, and I don't feel like a complete letdown in at least one of my classes. Speaking of classes, how are yours going? I know I took you away from some much needed studying and forced you into a den of monsters, which, by the way, my bad, but you know how I am in social situations. I hate them. I hate talking to people. Which, by the way, if you see any of your friends here in this library, tell them to see their way out, okay? Because I'm not making small talk. No, I'm just not in the mood. I've already had to talk to people in my drawing class, and that was like, you know, like a threshold. I've already crossed it. The threshold is gone. Okay, so I know you're super popular or whatever, but I demand all of your attention, at least for right now. When I leave, your attention can go wherever else it decides to go. But make sure you have your weekend free for me and your super secret surprise, which I'm still not telling you what it is. I guess you'll just have to agree to be my model. Please, please. She said I can draw whatever I wanted, and I thought I would draw the best thing that I can think of. Which, surprisingly enough, was not a cup of tea, but was actually you. So you should be flattered, okay, that I thought of you, alright? Stop making those silly faces at me. And shh, this is a library. You have to be quiet, okay? None of this back talk. I know. The librarian has already given me like several nasty looks, which at this point maybe we should just switch tables. But I like this table because it's kind of, you know, people can't look right in. They'd have to pass our little like area to see us. And also a nice window, you know, fresh air from all this musty, dusty crustiness. Anyway, are you going to be my model? Good. Because I wouldn't have taken no for an answer, by the way. Alright, let me get my stuff out. You can get situated. You know, did you make sure to bring a snack this time? Because I know for a fact that you forget to eat, and I can't have that. No, you need to take care of yourself. Good. I'm watching you. Anyway, get situated. I'll go get my drawing stuff, and I'll just have you strike a comfortable pose. And I do mean comfortable, so don't make any silly faces. Don't try to do anything like weird or extraneous or whatever. Just be yourself, because that's the you I want to draw. Cool. Okay, are you all situated? You have your snack, your drink, your books, because you're like super smart or whatever. Thanks for the reminder. Here I am taking all these art classes that I'm not even very good at, and here you are trying to save the world in more ways than one. You're as bad as my sister, which, by the way, I apologize for what happened at the end of the gala. What are you looking at? Turn around. God. Anyway, sorry, there was someone trying to eavesdrop. I don't need anyone thinking I'm weirder than I am, seeing as, you know, the monsters that situation. But again, I apologize for my sister. I knew it was a bad idea to bring her, but my mom said I had to. So, yeah. I mean, she wasn't supposed to come inside, you know. And she did. And all the monsters just skedaddled. It was like, have you ever poured water on an anthill? That's what it was like. All the little critters just scattering. It was insane, you know? It was very insane. And I'm honestly like super surprised I didn't lose you in like the entire craziness of that end of the evening. And she came in thinking she was gonna do something. Like she was going to do something. I don't know what she was expecting. But I guess I can't blame her, you know? She spends her whole life trying to don't move, strike a pose. She spends her entire like life trying to slay monsters or whatever, but I don't know, I don't think she'll ever get the chance. I used to think there was like an issue with her, you know? Stop fidgeting. But this is how my mom put it. She says, would you stay around if, you know, you saw a nuke coming at you? No, you would run. So I guess that just means, as always, there's another thing that I'm just average at. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Because you know what I do have? You. And that already makes everything feel a little bit more worthwhile, you know? But I'm gonna make this promise to you. I know I've only been kind of like half-assing the whole like witch situation, but I'm gonna really try. You know, that fear of failing really gets me, which I'm not sure if you've ever felt the same way. Fear of failing. By the way, you're having a really nice hair day. I don't know why I'm even asking. I don't know, I feel like you're just destined to be something great. Everyone's always so drawn to you, like a magnet. Not always in a pleasant way, but in the ways that count, you know. They're drawn to you in the ways that count. You're just being nice. You really think my art teacher's thinking I'm a good drawer? That's cute. You don't have to sugarcoat it. I know I'm not very good at most things. But, like I said, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. No, I'm not gonna be putting myself out there. Don't even get me started. No. I already have my social circle, and I'm happy the way it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't need any more. Okay. But I will try to put myself out there, also in the ways that matter, like witchcraft. I'm gonna try. Why do I want to try? I'll give you 3 guesses. Just 3. Wrong. Try again. Wrong. One more time. Get one more guess. Can't believe your first guess was, you just want to prove yourself to your peers. I don't want to prove myself. I don't want them even looking at me. Gosh, it's always awkward when I have to turn people down. Like, no, sorry. I don't want to join your study session. No, I don't want to actually hang out with you. Coffee, that sounds great, but maybe not with you, you know? And then I feel bad about it. It's a whole thing. Yes, it is because I want to be able to protect you. I want you to feel safe with me. Whatever safe looks like for you. I want to be someone you can rely on because I already rely on you way too much. We both know it's true. You know, I want you to know it's not really typical of vampires to be able to make a domain expansion and whisk you up to a mental reality and just terrorize you. So that was new information. Just let you know. And I'm sorry that it happened to you. You were only gone for like a minute, like out in the real world. I hope you know. I was talking to a fellow witch for 1 minute. I take my eyes off of you for 1 minute. And you said it was like 30 minutes for you. My mom's already looking into it. You don't have to worry. But I won't let it happen next time. Mark my words. It's not going to happen next time. Plus, there is the surprise, which I'm still not going to tell you about. Gosh. So that's like a silver lining, you know. Silver lining. Think of it almost like a little vacation for us. And it is appropriately spooky themed for the season, you know? Which I know is like the witch shop's busiest time, but I was able to get a little bit of time for this, seeing as what happened and all, and you deserve something nice, and I deserve something nice. I'm just very excited that that something nice gets to include you and me and no one else. So don't try to invite anyone else, okay? This is serious business, okay? It's just you and me, okay? You're still turn around. Do you know them? You don't? I mean, look kind of familiar. Of course I do. God, I feel like everyone always wants your attention. I don't blame them. I'm just very, very jealous. How often do I have to do this type of homework? Well, for every day of the week that we are not in class together, we need at least like one drawing. My teacher said they can like vary in terms of like subject matter, quality, what have you. It's more important that we're getting the practice in and also the inspiration. So, do you want to know what I drew a few days ago? It's really silly. You're never going to be able to guess. No, I'm being like dead serious. You're never going to be able to guess. And no, it's not my sister. Thank you. Gosh, I'd rather die than have to draw her. Plus, it would be like drawing myself, and that's disgusting. I don't want to look at myself longer than I have to, you know. forgot who I was talking to. Of course you don't know. Gosh. I don't know. It's the longer you look at yourself, the more you start to see imperfections that nobody else sees, but then you do. But then I'm looking at you and I'm seeing absolute perfection, so you probably don't have that issue. You still haven't guessed. What do you think I drew? See, I told you you'd never be able to guess. Okay, so my sister, for some reason, repels all monsters. I don't know, she's been a lot, and it's been a lot for her, and I know she really wants to, take over the family business or whatever. But for some odd reason, hobs, which are kind of like little gnomes, hobs don't seem to fear her. I think they just don't care about anyone except for cheese, which is very relatable, like super relatable. But she invited a desk hob to live in the family office, and his whole job there is to just keep things clean, and then he gets his piece of cheese. It's almost like free help for your house. But don't get any funny ideas of inviting them into your house or whatever without caution, because in case you forget to feed them their nightly slice of cheese, they will destroy your house, and that sucks. So with caution. Most of the time you're not supposed to invite them in, but if they do end up in your home, you're just supposed to parlay. Because once they're there, they're never going to leave. But I guess my sister was so excited that she was able to speak to a monster. They're this big. Have you ever seen the movie The Borrowers? Or Tinkerbell or whatever? They're that size, and they kind of look a little silly. Kind of cute, if you ask me. But that's besides the point. Anyway, I drew the desk and the desk hob, and my teacher was like, wow, this is really creative. Amazing that, you incorporated this weird little thing into a desk that I'm assuming is in your house. And I was like, yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I did. Except for I actually have hobs living in my house, so. But I guess that's what you get when you deal with people who don't deal with the supernatural on a daily basis. I know. Kind of nice little secret. Speaking of my lovely sister, she's been going on and on and on about this thing that she's calling the Slayer Report. I don't know what it is. I'm pretending like she's not talking to me, even though we're literally living in the same apartment. But she's really excited about it. I don't know what it is. You'll probably find out because she's probably going to tell you about it or send you something. I don't know. Again, I tuned her out. But look forward to that. It's not my job. Yeah, if you want to tell me about it once you do figure it out, I'll listen to you. But if it's coming from her mouth, I'm not gonna care. I think this is okay. Let me just quick do some shading around your eyes, if you don't mind. Thanks again for being my model. I really appreciate it. Plus, if I drew any more hobs, I think my teacher would think I was crazy, so... or just had a really weird fascination with small little things. Which, don't get me wrong, small little things are very, very cute. But I don't know, I think 3 times is too much. Okay. I think this looks good. No, you can't see it. master never reveals their work. But also, amateurs never reveal their work. And people who should not have signed up for another art class don't show their work. So, this will just be for me. But I promise I did my best to do you justice. I did. And I think there's a certain likeness to it. Yeah. At least I think I got your nose right. Though noses are surprisingly hard to draw, if you ask me. Yeah, kind of hard. Are you ready to hear about your surprise? Good. Alright, let me go put this up before anyone tries to look at it. And I'll tell you. Okay, wait right there. Wait. I know you're excited, but just wait. Okay, so I have scored us a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm talking once in a blue moon, once in a lifetime. It's insane. I scored us a room at a hotel for the dead. I know. You don't have to thank me. Apparently my mom knows the owner. Pretty sure a lot of people know the owner. But that's besides the point. Apparently this hotel is only for spirits and ghosts and whatnot. Hence the reason why my sister cannot go, so obviously it went to me. But it's apparently this like really amazing hotel. They only accept human guests once a year. There's only one room up for grabs, by the way. There's not like many rooms. It's just one room for humans. One. And I got it. For you and for me. I know it sounds really scary. I know. But apparently this hotel, which is like, pretty sure it's called Hotel of the Moon Hotel, whatever have you. It only really appears for like people to even see it, like human and ghosts, when it's a full moon. And apparently my mom stayed there once and she said it is so cool. Like it's huge, it's grand, literally the best hotel she's ever been to. It has everything you can think of. She said there's a rooftop bar, which you're able to see like the entire city. Absolutely gorgeous, with like limited edition drinks that my mom said she has never been able to like fully comprehend ever again. And I'm not sure if she was lying about this, but apparently there's like a beach. Yeah, like a whole beach. So make sure to bring something you can swim in. I'm not sure if that's like a lie or not, but she said she walked through a door and there was just a beach. I think there's like some like time shenanigans or teleportation. I'm not entirely sure. And I don't know, it sounds really fun and like perfect for a spooky holiday. And again, the spirits are there because, not that they're evil, but I think it has something to do with like grudges. I'm not sure, but again, the room is for us. And apparently, if you ask really, really nicely, like really, really nicely, they can just give you whatever you want. Like whatever you want. Like you want a burger that's been discontinued for years. They can get it for you. I know. You want to pet an elephant? They can make that happen. Whatever your heart desires. I know it's a pretty sweet deal. And we only get it for one night because, again, human customers can only stay there once. Though my mom did say, I'm pretty sure this is a rumor, she's probably just pulling my leg or whatever, because because she clearly made it out okay. But she says, the rumor is, if you stay at this hotel as a human, you never check out. Which obviously has to be fake, right? Come on. Doesn't sound like so much fun. A fun surprise for you and I. Plus, you deserve it after everything I put you through. You will? Yes, okay. So make sure your weekend is free. Again, we can only stay there for the one night, but I want like a day to plan, day to stay there. And then I guess if we don't end up making it out alive, Sunday for us to put our affairs in order when we become ghosts and stay at the hotel. I'm not entirely sure. But I figured that was like a safe bet. Okay, good. Are you done studying? Yeah. Okay. What do you say about some coffee or tea or hot chocolate on me? I got you. And then maybe we can see a movie after? Oh, of course, you would just decide to go and do more studying, of course. Pack up your stuff. No, I'm not mad or anything. It's just, I was really hoping that we could spend more time together, but I'll let you do you.